The earth is flat.
Who's flat?
The earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, shit. The earth is flat!
The earth is flat.
Who's flat?
The earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, shit. The earth is flat!
The earth is flat.
Who's flat?
The earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, shit. The earth is flat!
The earth is flat.
Who's flat?
The earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, shit. The earth is flat!
The earth is flat.
Who's flat?
The earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, shit. The earth is flat!
The earth is flat.
Who's flat?
The earth is flat.
The earth is flat.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, shit. The earth is flat!
Hey, talk about predictive programming. This is the one thing I wanted to bring up. I'm not sure you've heard this. I've put it out there, so some may have heard this before. But do you know that Werner von Braun, in 1952, Werner von Braun, the Nazi scientist, head of NASA,
Right.
wrote a book called Project Mars. You aware of this?
No. Do tell. Go on.
It's available on Amazon still, which imagine that human colonists on Mars would be led by a person called Elon.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. Look it up. It's called Project Mars by Werner von Braun. Project Mars, about people living on Mars, led by a guy named Elon. And if you talk about symbolism, we got the 9-headed dragon rocket, run by Elon Musk. That's where you have to go to Effed Up World and watch his videos about all the symbolism. I truly am starting to believe wholeheartely that all of this stuff, everything the elite do, are just ceremonial
garbage
rituals
Yeah,
to conjure in their reality,
right?
To conjure in, if you want to call it prophecy or whatever it is, they're conjuring this into existence.
Yeah. So is it called the Mars Project? Weird, and just believe it was SpaceX such and such, right? It serves the purpose of, hey, SpaceX is launching things all the time. I remember 6 months ago I saw one just over the house and when I was living in Los Angeles, right? It just keeps the indoctrination going. However, for those who also think that, it's a conspiracy, like it's UFO stuff, right? It was a UFO thing. It also helps that cause. And I think what we're going to see is, I think they're going to ramp up this stuff, Dave. I think that we're going to see more and more stuff like with a UFO, or was it a government rocket? I think that's going to, the frequency that these things happen are going to increase dramatically over the next year or so because of the increase in the flat Earth.
Or was it some technology like a Vimana or something, where they're trying to break through the dome? There's a YouTube channel called Effed Up World, which I'm kind of getting into. Guy's very religious, and he talks about the Bible, where they talk about wars in the stars and battles in in the sky. And if you really look at a couple of those angles, it sure looks like there's some sort of battle going on. The symbolism with the SpaceX and NASA and the ISS, they're doing rituals up there, that match all this prophecy. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying any of that's real. I just find it fascinating.
Yeah, I need to check that out.
Effed Up World, EFTUPWORLD. You get chills when you watch some of his videos.
Yeah, I definitely need to check that out because I can't comment. I would not put anything past them as far as that goes.
Following announcement has been paid for by
The Flat Earth Podcast.
You want to leave a digital voicemail for us? Head over to theflatearthpodcast.com and click on the blue link that reads, "Got a question? Send us a message."
You can do it from your iPhone or from your computer. First time you do it on your cellular phone, you'll have to download a little app. But after that, you can leave us all kinds of messages. If you want to be anonymous, you can make up a name, make up an email address. We don't care. We just want to hear what you have to say.
We live in a time of deception, folks. It is great deception. I've been at this a long time, and I've watched these patterns now trending, and I can see what's developing before us tonight. Look at the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse number 13. 13. Revelation 13, verse 13. He doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for there's the number of a man, and his number is 666. 666 is 3 Greek words. Each one of them is hex. They're different words, but they all start with hex. And you and I both know tonight what a hex is. It's a curse. So the Bible says that his number, 666, is a cursed number. Now, the Revelation chapter number 13 that I just read to you is about the Antichrist. He's a pseudo-Christ. He's a false Christ. And he comes in his own name. He said to the Jews, when one comes in his own name, you'll receive him. He comes in his name. The name is prominent in Revelation chapter 13. The name is very important. There is a name involved in this. Look at verse number 17. Verse 16, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. 2015, the doctrine of a flat earth emerged, and with it came confusion. Well, I look out, preacher, the earth's flat. No, it's not. There's mountains all over the place. But the flat earthers teach that the earth is like a pizza. It's a disc. It's round. It's very important because Isaiah says plainly the circle of the earth. It's round, okay? They teach that it has a dome over the top of it. They teach that it has some kind of foundations or so forth underneath it, and that the sun is moving. The earth is stationary. It's called geocentric. Isn't that what it is? I think it's geocentric. Heliocentric, therefore, is when the sun is the center and things move around it, all right? So you've got the sun up here moving. You've got all this other stuff, and they say the sun's only a few thousand miles away, and the stars aren't that much further away. This is what they teach. I'm not up here tonight to make fun of anybody, but listen to this one thing, all right? They use scriptures from Job, chapter 38, talking about the foundations and so forth. The Bible says the circle of the earth, but the Bible also says the 4 corners of the earth. Where do you find a corner in a circle? You can't, preacher. Exactly. It's a figure of speech. So when the Bible talks about the foundations of the earth, it's using a figure of speech. So when the doctrine of the flat earth emerged, and I've met a number of people that believe in it. They just had an astronaut touch down today. He'd been up there for a year. That's a long time. I don't know if he's able to walk or not. A year floating around up there, folks. I mean, how many's ever seen him in there floating around? There's no gravity. I can't imagine floating. Well, I'm going to float from one end of this thing to the other, all right? Been up there for a year. And no doubt in my mind, he's taken a lot of photographs and videos. No doubt whatsoever. And we've got space tourism coming up now. How many of you have ever heard of William Shatner? Star Trek. I watched that thing come down in Light in the Desert. William Shatner got out of that thing. He's 90, I think he's 90 years old. He's been around a while. And they went up to interview him. And he's an actor, an accomplished actor, but he wasn't acting. It took his breath away.
Is there death? I don't know. Is that death? Is that the way death is? Whoop! And it's gone. But to see the blue color go whoop by, and now you're staring into black. Oh, it's blue sky. And there's something you shoot through it all of a sudden, as though you whip off a sheet off you when you're asleep, and you're looking into blackness, into black ugliness. And you look down, there's the blue down there, and the black up there, and it's there. Is there death? I don't know. Is that death? Is that the way death is? Whoop! And it's gone. Like a beat, and suddenly you're through the blue. And you're into black. And you're into, it's mysterious and galaxies and things. But what you see is black. And what you see down there is light. And that's the difference. And not to have this, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the enormity and the quickness and the suddenness of life and death. And oh my God. It's something.
What you were saying about shooting through it so fast.
So quickly, 50 miles.
And you're just in blackness.
And you're in death.
Yes.
The moment
this is life.
This is life, and that's death. And it's in an instant, you go, wow, that's death.
How many saw that? It took his breath away. I mean, he absolutely lost it because he got a little glimpse of this globe that we're standing on tonight. Got a little glimpse of it. There's going to be a whole lot more people that get glimpses of it as space tourism. Elon Musk is going to have a lot of space tourism. It's all coming up. They're talking about building a hotel or a motel up there. It wouldn't be a motel. They're talking about building a hotel up there, and people can go up and stay in that hotel for a while and then come back down to the earth. Think they'll take photographs while they're up there?
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart,
I will ascend into heaven.
And people can go up and stay in that hotel for a while and then come back down to the earth.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
They're talking about building a hotel up there.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised in the city of our God, in the mountain of his holiness. Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, on the sides of the north, the city of the great King.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Time is running out for the flat earthers. It's running out. And I pastored the church for over 30 years and never heard flat earth from anybody.
Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert.
You know why? It's the trending thing. In 2015, all of a sudden, it exploded in the church.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come.
And here all these people now talking about the flat earth like they have learned something. And it aggravates me. It aggravates me. Because I had 2 or 3 of them jump me in the foyer one time over the flat earth thing. They get indoctrinated into this thing and they begin to lose their mind. And it's a very divisive thing. What has it ever done for the church? What's it ever done?
Curiosity says, I was slipping away from the faith and beginning to question the existence of God. I ran across Eric Dubay and Rob Skiba's videos. I then immediately bought and read the book of Enoch. Never again will I ever question God. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Flat Earth opened my heart back to my Lord Jesus Christ. I was a backslider for many years. God woke me up to all the deception. He is coming very soon. We all feel it in our hearts who have the Holy Spirit. I love you, my Lord. James K. says, finding out about our flat earth showed me truth I could not deny. I had to open myself to the real truth of God and his creations. It all makes so much sense now. God is truth and God is real. You just have to want to look to find. Flat earth brought the power of God and the glory of heaven closer to my family. Jesus Christ is true and so is his word. Then he quotes Job 38:12 and 13. Hast thou commanded the morning since thy days, and caused the dayspring to know his place? That it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it. It grieves me to see Christians trashing flat earth. I was lost for about 10 years and had immersed myself in teaching company lectures and was knee-deep in leftist political ideas. The one thing that I had right was that I always said I was prepared to change any of my positions with new information. I declared that for me to come back to Christ, he would have to turn all of modern science on its head. Well, he played that card, and I have found a deeper and truer understanding of him than ever before. I've seen my prayers being answered left and right, and I just regret it took me so long to come back. I feel like the prodigal son returning home. Shout out to the Book of Enoch. Flat Earth since 3/19/2017. Christian my entire life, but once I learned this hidden truth, my relationship with my Savior, Jesus, gets stronger every day. Colette Spencer says, I always believed in God, but wondered about the reality of Satan in the Bible. Flat Earth made me realize Satan is real and envelops many people. Now I feel like the Bible is very factual. So many things about science made no sense to me. Realizing that the Earth is not a spinning ball and evolution is a crock, my mind isn't confused with questions about things that make no sense. And Howard Massacotti says, after over 1,000 hours of research of the flat Earth, I found Christ, and I believe the Bible.
But create confusion and split people apart. That's what it's done. It's caused problems. So what about this vaccination? What's it doing? Well, I'll tell you what it's doing. We have families where some have been vaccinated and some haven't been vaccinated. Same family, okay? And if you buy into this mark of the beast thing, then you're going to have a mess in your family. And you also have a mess in your church, because this turns people against each other. It creates division. It's divisive. Yes, it is.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
It creates confusion. And these 6 things that the Lord hate, yea, 7 are abomination to him, and one of them is he that soweth discord among the brethren. Don't take it lightly, folks. Don't take that lightly. Don't take it, the Bible you profess to believe, don't take it lightly. When you're separating people and driving a wedge between them and turning mothers against fathers and turning husbands against wives and children against their parents because of some ridiculous thing like that.
But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles.
And here all these people now talking about the flat earth like they have learned something. And it aggravates me. It aggravates me because I had 2 or 3 of them jump me in the foyer one time over the flat earth thing. They get indoctrinated into this thing and they begin to lose their mind. And it's a very divisive thing. What has it ever done for the church? What's it ever done? Verse 13, He doeth great wonders, so that He maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Elon Musk is going to have a lot of space tourism. It's all coming up. They're talking about building a hotel or a motel up there. It wouldn't be a motel.
Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God.
Elon Musk is going to have a lot of space tourism. It's all coming up. They're talking about building a hotel or a motel up there. It wouldn't be a motel.
What are some of the easiest ways that you can prove that the Earth is flat? There are so many proofs that the Earth is flat. It's difficult to know where to start. And it's not okay to think that the Earth is a sphere. This is not a viable argument. There are proofs all around you. It is not difficult to know that the Earth is flat. In fact, people have known this for way more than 2,000 years. Go out to a lake, flat, and you could make all kinds of measurements. Then there are some other proofs that are a little more obscure, but they're actually really lovely. So people have known that the Earth is flat for thousands of years. It's not okay to say that the Earth curved. And it's something where I keep getting this question. We really need to put this question to bed because we've known the Earth is flat. Flat.
If you look carefully, you will see that the Earth we live on is not what we were taught. We were raised on a globe in a solar system. None of that exists. There is the sun, the moon, and the stars, and the planets. They actually are flying over the Earth in a circle, just like the Bible says. We surely have inherited lies in this generation. The hardest test you may have in your life is to overcome this lie we were all raised on. We were all taught the opposite of the observable reality we live in. The sky rotates while the Earth is stationary. Why were we taught the opposite? But if you want to know the truth, you can find it.
And the angel answered and said unto me, Follow me, and I will show you the place of the just, where they are led when they are deceased. And after these things, taking thee into the abyss, I will show thee the souls of sinners, and what sort of place they are led into when they have deceased. And I proceeded back after the angel, and he led me into heaven. And I looked back upon the firmament, and I saw in the same place power, and there was their oblivion, which deceives, and draws down to itself the hearts of men, and the spirit of detraction, and the spirit of fornication, and the spirit of madness, and the spirit of insolence. And there were there the princes of vices. These I saw under the firmament of heaven. And again I looked back, and I saw angels without mercy, having no pity, whose countenance was full of madness, and their teeth sticking out beyond the mouth. Their eyes shone like the morning star of the east, and from the hairs of their heads sparks of fire went out, or from their mouth. And I asked the angel, saying, Sir, who are those? And the angel answered and said unto me, These are those who are destined to the souls of the impious in the hour of need, who did not believe that they had the Lord for their helper, nor hoped in him. And he took me down from the third heaven, and led me into the second heaven. And again he led me on to the firmament, and from the firmament he led me over the doors of heaven. The beginning of its foundation was on a river which waters all the earth. And I asked the angel and said, Lord, what is this river of water? And he said to me, This is Oceanus. And suddenly I went out of heaven, and I understood that it is the light of heaven which lightens all the earth. For the land there is 7 times brighter than silver. And I said, Lord, what is this place? And he said to me, This is the land of promise. Hast thou never heard what is written? Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. The souls, therefore, of the just, when they have gone out of the body, are meanwhile dismissed to this place. And I said to the angel, Then this land will be manifested before the time? And the angel answered and said to me, When Christ, whom thou preachest, shall come to reign, then, by the sentence of God, the first earth will be dissolved, and this land of promise will then be revealed. And it will be like dew or cloud, and then the Lord Jesus Christ, the King eternal, will be manifested, and will come with all his saints to dwell in it. And he will reign over them 1,000 years, and they will eat of the good things which I shall now show unto thee. Let's talk about the sun. How does the sun set on flat Earth? Does it make any sense? Well, to me it does, and I want to show you one way to understand it. Doesn't mean the sun sets this way every time, because weather is always different and the air is always a different condition, and it's unpredictable. But on clear days, we notice certain things, And on days that aren't as clear, we notice other things. And this is just going to show you a way to understand it that may be different from what you understand on a globe. Watch this video, and I think you will be able to see something happening that you might not have thought about before. But the sun is being blocked out by the thick air near the ground when it is far enough away. And the light doesn't end up making it through all the air, which we can see here. Notice how the sun appears to stop going down towards the horizon when it gets there. Now these are time lapses, and the 36 times speed and the 6 times speed is much faster than in reality. So you have to realize that the sun is getting to that point and it's just kind of sitting there in the same spot and disappearing. This doesn't happen every time the sun goes down, but these are videos that I've taken with my drone from about 1,500 feet in altitude. So the sun is washed out by the thickness of the air down low to the ground. Watch as it starts to set before it makes it to the horizon, and it starts to set from the bottom side up, just as it would if you were at the ocean and it was appearing to go down into the water. The bottom would disappear first. If you are so confident in your understanding of how things work in this world, you won't begin to understand things in different ways. And I think it's important to understand things in more than one way, if possible, because it's probably not just one way. Sometimes we are wrong about things and should choose the truth when it becomes known to us. This is just one example of how thinking can change by looking from a different perspective. So I want to show you this. And as you can see in these videos, it's almost self-explanatory what is happening here, blocking out the bottom of the sun, working its way up towards the top of the sun. It's that thick air. So when you're down on the ground, you might not even see the sun. It might be gone already. So that was just one way that you can understand how, if the sun is going away from you, how it eventually will disappear, because there's going to be trees and things that are going to block it from your view, even if it's way above the earth. You can't see the sun from everywhere in the world. It has a limit of distance that it shines, and that's why we have day and night. So that's my explanation. Thanks for listening.
But we're going to talk specifically tonight about the rotation of the Earth. Is it a thing? Of course it is. Thanks, Bob. Joining me to have this discussion is Effed Up World. Effed Up World, how are you?
Good, Craig. How you doing? Thanks for having me again.
No worries. Thank you for coming on. I love the dumpster fire thing behind you there. So, when before I joined the Navy and when I joined the Navy, we talked a lot about how to navigate using the stars in case we ever got lost, and to understand where we came from as sailors to where we are. And one of the big observations that you can make when you are using the stars for navigation is that they move in a particular way. They move in a particular way. They move in a particular way.
Yes, and you just said it. I agree.
Yeah. Now, but the thing is, when you look at the way they move, look at the way they move, look at the way they move, they move, they move. That, to me, explains what we are seeing because we are rotating. That gives me the personal observation that we are on something rotating based on the position of things that we are seeing in the sky as we rotate. when you map out the positions and the way that they move through the sky, it only makes sense when you're on a globe. It was very obvious that the Earth was the thing that was rotating based purely on the movements of the things from the sky.
I acknowledge what you're saying fully. I mean, if we were to look up at the stars and they appear to be moving, like you said.
Look at the way they move. They move in a particular way.
And the constellations move throughout the year and each night. But we could also look at that and say, well, maybe that's the Earth spinning. And so if the Earth is spinning, then the sky would appear to be that way if we were on the Earth that was spinning. I understand that. And I don't deny that, and I do acknowledge that that's a possibility, because that, like you say, it does make sense. But there is a basic observation that we all make our whole lives living on the Earth. We all live here. So if, I guess I don't know what the right words are, but by definition, if we look up at the sky and we see the sky moving, then it would appear to me that the sky is moving.
We don't sense that the Earth is moving because we're not designed to sense that the Earth is moving.
And so two simple things. I observed a still floor in the room, just like the room you're in. The floor is, as far as you as a human being can tell, the floor is not moving. And then when you look up at the stars, we know that they are moving from the standpoint that from our bodies where we live on the Earth. Well, I have a hard time ignoring the observations that everybody has made there for 24 hours a day their entire life. Why do we need to, in order to go into space, why do we need to move so fast to stay up there, I'm saying?
To avoid hitting the ground.
Okay, and so saying that you agree that anything that's in space or whatever you want to call it is moving at orbital velocity or better, right?
That's why we have to test things. And
yeah,
Joe, there isn't a single test on your side.
Let me give you an example of a test.
Please do.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful or something. I'm literally trying to tell you of a legitimate thing that I can do, and I brought this up when I was debating Reds, is when we do long exposure photography of the sky, I don't think you would argue with me that what we find in the viewfinder is that the sky is turning and that my camera is sitting on the Earth that from our point of view is not turning. It started at a zero velocity, right? Before it launched, it was sitting on the Earth in one spot. I'm saying from here anyway.
Well, all the bits that were sent up to construct
the delta V that it has is relative to the ground, right?
Yeah.
The orbital velocity, I'm saying. If we said it was moving 17,000 miles an hour, that means it literally covers that much ground in an hour, or 5 miles a second, or whatever it is. I don't remember. But that's kind of what I'm saying, is that the Earth in the background here, it appears to be moving because of the orbital velocity of the space station. So sort of the opposite way of saying being on the ground and saying, hey, the ISS is flying over right now. We could be on the ISS and look down at the ground and see it rotating, or we could be on the ground looking at the ISS saying, well, we're on the still ground and the ISS is flying over at a high velocity. We could talk about physics. There's a different kind of physics up in space, and I know it seems to apply, but
physics is the same everywhere in the universe.
So everything, like on the way to the moon and on the way back, they were free falling, zero gravity. Anything that's ever been in space is in zero gravity. Is that anything like what we have here for physics on the Earth?
No. What do you mean anything that's ever been in space is in zero gravity?
You have to be going around.
The ISS is still in gravity. The ISS is still under the... They get about 88% of the gravity we do here.
So is the moon, and so are the moons of Jupiter, right?
Yeah.
And so is every satellite, and everything that's ever been in space.
But they're so big, they've got their own gravitational field that will affect us enough. But none of this changes. Come on, dude. Right, let's just stick with facts and measurements. not personal opinions and not understanding
It's not
physics.
a personal opinion. It's
It
something
really
that you
is.
agree with, Craig. Craig, you know this.
What do I agree with?
You know that anything that is in space, anything that's staying up there, we could say, anything that's not on the Earth,
if it's in
is
orbit,
moving.
if it's in orbit, it has a sum of
Everything
zero
in space
vector
is in
acting on
orbit.
it.
Everything in space is in orbit. Do you agree?
Well,
Around
it can
something.
be in orbit of different things, but it could have a vector
Yeah, but-
separate to that. But if anything,
everything
let's
in
just go with
space
Earth.
is
Let's just go
free-falling.
with Earth. Let's just go with Earth, right? Anything in orbit around Earth has a sum vector of zero acting on it at that point. It still has gravity acting on it, but because it is also has a tangential velocity that it does, it is technically free falling, which counters the gravity that it's got. So it has a sum vector of zero.
What I can show you, like physical things, like what happens anytime something goes from space into the Earth? What happens? Even if it survives, there's a
when it
huge
deorbits?
sonic boom. There's a sonic boom. Yeah, like when it deorbits.
Oh, it
There's a
comes
sonic
into the
boom, right?
atmosphere.
What's that?
It comes into the atmosphere.
Some of them by having you agree with me.
But
If-
I
if
don't
it's
agree
something
with
you
you
agree with.
about. But I haven't agreed with any of the physical things that you say because they're all very, very
Okay,
wrong.
so everything in space around the Earth, because you said let's just talk
Anything
about
in
the Earth.
orbit
So
has a sum of zero
anything
vector,
in
yes.
orbit is moving at, we could just be general and say 17,000 miles an hour or faster. 17,000 miles an hour or faster. 17,000 miles an hour or faster.
No.
To be higher, right?
No,
There's
that's
nothing-
Not, that's not how it works. That's just a particular orbital velocity of the ISS.
Let me, if you would, let me kind of continue, because you're kind of like cutting me off every time I try to get a point across. So would you agree that anything that is, what's the lowest velocity that something can be and be in orbit? The point, it's hard to make the point if I keep getting stopped.
All right, sorry.
So if we're talking about, let's just talk about low Earth orbit a little bit. Out
The
there,
17,000 miles per hour is the mean orbital velocity needed to maintain a stable low Earth orbit.
so there you go. I was right when I said that.
Yeah.
So there was a reason why I said that, though, because that velocity is at 250 miles or whatever, and maybe even a little lower. But if you go faster, like there's more delta V, it's directly related to your orbit height. Like that, you're going to be in a higher orbit if you're going faster. Like like the Starlink satellites. This is a good example. I think they're like 100 miles when they reach their kind of like where they're staying. I think they're about 340 miles or something. I could be wrong on that, but when they have to be moving faster than the space station to be at that higher orbit. And the way I understand it, it's a direct relationship. Go ahead.
From what I understand and what they're saying in the chat is that the higher the orbit, the lower the required tangential velocity is.
Okay, so then why do they need a Saturn V rocket to go to the moon and they don't need a Saturn V rocket to go to the space station?
Because you're kind of going outside of the Earth's orbit. You're not orbiting Earth anymore.
You need a higher velocity.
Yeah, but
yeah. So what I'm saying is, in order to go higher, you need a higher velocity.
Well, to break away from the Earth's gravitational field, yeah, but
or let's just say you're on the ISS and they shoot a CubeSat. If they shoot a CubeSat 5 miles an hour faster, it's going to be a little bit higher than them. Why did I want to talk about orbits? And why did I want to talk about things being in zero gravity? Explain to me why I wanted to talk about that. If
do you accept that gravity
mass
is a thing?
Everything.
Do you accept that gravity is a thing?
We experience, if we call it gravity, then yeah. I mean, it's just a name that we have for the physical world that we experience, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, it's an observable phenomenon that has been quantified and measured. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So gravity is a real thing, right? So you're asking me about things that have a sum of zero on them in space, in an orbit, like people on the ISS can float around, right?
Well, everything in space is like that. Everything.
Well, it depends.
Everything is free falling in space.
Yeah, it depends on its acceleration and stuff. Yeah.
Basically. No, but it is. It's all free falling, and we can prove that by researching what they on the way to the moon and on the way to the back.
I mean,
from the
everything is every bit of mass is accelerating towards every other bit of mass in the universe. So everything is free falling towards everything else in the end.
Exactly. That's part of the point that I'm trying to make, is that everything that is in space is moving at a high velocity, and it's free fall. So, like, hear me out here, please, because I'm not like just speaking, nothing here. I'm trying to make a point. Orbital velocity is a speed that we've found that if we go that fast, basically we can stay up in the air, and as the same amount of gravity, or nearly the same amount of gravity, pulls us down towards the Earth, we found that we never hit because we're going fast enough to match that outward acceleration around a globe, right? That's the understanding that I think you have. I mean, I'm kind of very general with it. I don't know everything that you do, but what I'm saying is there's another way to look at what is happening in space. And if we consider that everything that goes there has to be moving at a certain velocity in order to be there, and also it's in zero gravity, or whatever you want to call it, free fall, while it's there. These are some things that there's another way to look at it, is what I'm saying. And when I'm standing on the Earth and I look up at the stars and the whole sky is moving, I just think that the whole sky is moving. The side reel motor on my EQ mount is very good evidence. It's very good evidence that the stars are moving.
They move in a particular way. No, it's the exact opposite.
So why is the motor there then?
To track the motion of the stars, because the Earth's rotating.
You just said it. The motion of the stars.
We do not observe that the Earth is stationary. We observe that the Earth is rotating.
Everybody else but the sailors do.
No, they don't.
Anybody, everyone in the chat does. Everyone that's ever lived does, Craig.
Okay, right, let's ask, right? We've got 650 people watching. Guys in the chat, 1 if you observe a stationary Earth, 2 if you observe a rotating Earth. 1 for a stationary Earth,
and an example
2 for a stationary
of this please give an example of
I just want a 1 or a 2. I just want a 1 or a 2.
Okay.
If they observe a stationary or if they observe rotation.
Well, I better get in there. No, I'm just kidding.
2. Be honest, guys. If you think it's 1, say 1.
There's a lot of people that obviously think that they are observing a moving or a rotating Earth, right?
Yeah.
Is that what 2 was?
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
So let me ask the number 2s. Let me just ask, what is your example, or your I don't know what the right word is, your example of this observation?
All right. Okay. All right. So it's definitely in the 2s. All right, guys. Tell me, like F. World said, what is your explanation for 2? Why do you observe that the Earth is rotating?
No, I mean,
and see what they say.
Do you observe that's rotating?
Yeah. What leads you to that? If you say, well, I think I'm observing the Earth is rotating. Why are you saying that?
I think it's more direct than that, even, Craig. Is an observation, simply put, is something you can make an observation with your eyes. You can make an observation with your ears, with your.
If I go outside, I instantly have the observation that the Earth is rotating.
And by looking up at the sky is what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Which is, I understand that.
Or if I see a horizon or a sunset.
Okay.
These are all things.
Look at that too.
No, there's genuinely not. Again, you need to provide the maths for that if you're saying that. Joe, let's go back to the basics. No, I don't care if you can show me footage. Let's go back to the basics.
All right.
There isn't a single experiment or measurement that shows the Earth is stationary. Not one. And I don't care what photos you can show. For
Craig, I'm not trying to frustrate you. I'm
stop saying the same thing then.
Very simple.
You keep saying the same thing. You keep saying, but what about hold on, you keep going, but what about observations? That observation isn't possible. That observation says that the Earth is moving.
No, but what's moving in the image?
The Earth.
No, there isn't even an image of the Earth there. There's only an image of stars.
But what's happening is only possible if the Earth is moving. That observation tells me the Earth is moving, not the stars.
And that's where we differ, is that my senses and,
cool,
and all the perceptions I have tell me that the stars are moving right there.
Cool, irrelevant, right? Now look at the south, the southern rotational point.
We're just going to see it. It's like looking, it's like turning around, you're going to see the same thing.
And they're going in the
if you're
opposite...
at the equator...
hold on, they're going the opposite direction. The rotation...
You just turned around. You turned around look from north to south. Of course, they're going to be going the opposite direction. They're still moving the same direction.
No, they're not. You look at the equator and they're going literally counter to each other. Which is only possible. Stop. No, listen. Hold on. Stop. No. You listen. That observation is only possible on a globe. That what you are showing is an observation that we are on a rotating globe, not the stars moving. That is everything for tonight, guys. I want to say first off, thank you, F.World, for coming for a conversation.
I work at NASA. What are you thinking I'm building houses for? I'm just kidding. My hat, it says I work at NASA.
You're wrong about
thank you.
Absolutely everything you say. Please try and do a bit more investigation.
I'll do my best, and thank you, Craig. I appreciate your kind, whatever you call it. I have I've got nothing against you, but if I was going to say anything to anyone, I would just say this. From my point of view, which may be unimportant and worthless to you, but from my point of view, the place that we live has been misunderstood, and there's other ways to see it, and maybe you don't see it that way and you're sure about the way you see it, but I just encourage you to look at things with an open mind sometimes when talking about these subjects, because there wouldn't be so many flat earthers around the world right now if there was nothing. So what I'm saying is that there's a way to see some things. Come to my channel and subscribe, or watch some of my videos, and or just listen to some of my videos, just to some of the things that I'm pointing out, and maybe you'll get a better idea of what I'm trying to share with Craig. So,
okay, well, thank you for coming on. I'm sure we'll have another chat in the future. There's more things I want to go over with you, but for now, thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
And I will speak to you soon.
Wasn't trying to be a pain in the butt. I
get frustrated, as you can see. Take it easy, and I'll speak to you soon.
It's all good. Thank you, sir.
Bye. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight.
A lot of us say that the earth is flat, and it sounds crazy, and it sounds like that couldn't be true, because we live on a globe. But let me try to explain a little bit from my point of view why I would say that the earth is flat. Why would someone at age 5 years ago, I was 38. Why did I start saying, hey, I think the earth is flat? And why did I buy some nice optics and telescopes and start researching and studying the sky and studying how far we can see on the surface of this earth? Why would I do that? A lot of people would say, Joe, says the earth is flat because he wants to be special. He has a need to be different, or wants to be looked at differently or something. And I totally get that. But what I would actually say myself is that it's not because I want anything. It's because I was called by Jesus to be a witness of his marvelous light and to give my testimony about what I bear witness to. That's why I say the earth is flat. And there's another reason too. Because of what Paul said in 2 Thessalonians 2, verses 10 through 12.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
The people who don't receive the love of the truth will be damned. So it has nothing to do with Joe wanting to feel special or any of these other people that are saying these same things. We don't want to feel special. We love you and care about you and have learned supernaturally and seen supernaturally the truth in this world. And this world is full of lies. And the lies don't seem like lies because we were all born believing them. Our parents believed them. Their parents believed them. And now people have seen the truth. And it surrounds you in this world. It surrounds you. Water at its surface, when at rest, is flat, level, horizontal. It doesn't take a curved shape. That's only in your imagination. I have proved this in reality to myself, and I have my YouTube channel that I share publicly my observations. And maybe you haven't gone out to do these observations and see, to prove to yourself that if we were on a spinning ball, two things. It must curve, which it doesn't, and it's spinning, which it isn't. So we were born believing the opposite of our perceptions and the senses that we have, and we were born believing the opposite. And now it's ridiculed to actually observe the world that we live in and on, and to prove things about it. It's 2020, guys. We have the best equipment. We have the best communications. We have worldwide instant communication. We have the best optics that have ever been. It's 2020. We can know if the earth is a ball spinning in outer space or if it's a flat plane that God made. God's in heaven. Remember that. And also remember, this is my testimony. Jesus showed this to me. He opened my eyes, and I could see something when I turned, not when I turned, but around 37 or 38 years old. It changed. My eyes were open. My perceptions were used more clearly. I could see clearer. I comprehend things that I didn't even know existed. He showed me the truth, and I want you to see it because it's crucial for your eternal life. And that is my testimony.
I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous therefore and repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him, and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame, and am set down with my Father in his throne. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
I get that last, but
NASA live. We don't live on a spinning ball. Earth is flat.
All right, tell me your name.
Ruth Heath.
Ruth, and how old are you today?
102.
102. So you were born in
1918.
1918. And we were just talking, and I asked you what shape the Earth is, and what did you say? What were you taught in school in elementary school?
I was taught in school that the Earth was flat.
And then what do you remember when they changed it to a globe?
Well, when they changed it, I remember when they changed it, but I can't remember the date or anything like that.
And did you believe them?
Yes, I did.
You did. Now,
I was young.
Right, and we all were told by people that we trust.
That's right.
Where did you go to school? Elementary school.
I went to Spur Glen School in Hamden, Connecticut. I lived on a farm and grew up with all kinds of animals. No electricity. A big white farmhouse.
Amazing.
And we had to walk to school. We didn't have a bus to take us to school. We had to walk to school and walk home through all bad weather. It was, living on the farm was a life of, I can't explain it.
So getting back to the flat Earth, you said that you're religious, that
Yes.
you follow the Bible.
Yes, I do.
And are you aware that the Bible is all about the flat Earth? That God put the Earth on the footstool and separated the waters from the waters, and created the firmament. If you read Genesis, I'm not the Bible guy. I have friends that are so good at it, but there's over 200 verses in the Bible that refer to a flat Earth.
That's right.
And I think there's only one verse that mentions Earth as a circle, but just like this table right here, that table is a circle,
right,
but it's flat.
That's right.
Right. A circle is different than a sphere. A sphere is the same in every direction.
That's right.
The circle of the Earth. So how does it make you feel to realize that you were right as a kid?
It makes me feel better.
It does make you feel better, right?
Oh, it makes me feel alive.
Oh my God, that is so true. My whole life, I believed, what I was taught.
That's
and then
right.
when I discovered the flat Earth,
I feel better about it.
Because we are the center of creation.
That's right.
We are important.
That's right.
We are here.
We are God's children.
Excellent.
Yes.
I will,
I believe in God. I trust God. And when all the problems that are happening in this world today.
I'll give you some good news. A lot of the problems that they report on the news aren't even real.
That's right. That's right.
They're just keeping us in fear.
Keeping up. That's right. That's right. That's right. I understand that. I understand. They just say what they want people to know. They don't care about the Bible. They don't care about life. They only care about I, me, myself, and I. It's a different world.
So the globe deception that a lot of people say, and I believe, is literally by Satan to hide God and
That's
make
right.
people selfish
That's
and,
right.
and self-centered and not care and think that there's no consequences for their actions.
Right. I pray every night before I go to bed. And one night things weren't happening right. And I sat up in bed and I said, God, where are you? I need you right now. And I'm beginning to wonder, where is God?
God's right above us in the clouds. The heavens are right here. That's all that there is. And there's not infinite space. Did you know, wait, let me ask you a question, just switching topics a little bit, that we never went to the moon, that was all fake?
Is that right?
That's correct.
I saw that all happening.
Yeah, so did I, and we all believed it, but that was just to reinforce that people to believe they can live on a ball and they could walk on a ball. Nobody's ever been to space because space doesn't exist. There is no space. There's just this world.
Oh, it's such a lie.
It's such a lie, but knowing the lie is like going to a magic show.
I woke up.
Yes, that's what we call it. We call it red. This is your moment of waking up. It's when you go to see a magician and you know how the tricks are done, and the magic no longer works on you, and you're free from the illusion. So knowing this is going to free your heart.
Cry.
Yeah, that's okay.
It makes me cry.
Happiness.
Yes.
Tears of joy.
Yes. Yes. I know that we were true, and they're hiding us.
Yes, it's good though.
It's good.
It's very good.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
I'm awake.
Yes.
I'm awake.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to end this video now, and I will try to give you some more information. Can you read? Are you able to read?
No.
You're not able to read.
No.
You're able to listen to things?
Well, I have to use up here.
Okay.
Because I'm legally blind.
I got it. All right. So you can't see how good looking I am?
No.
You just have to trust my opinion. This is the perfect woman for me. She can't see me. All right. Thank you so much.
That's my pleasure.
All right.
It's my pleasure to know that it's true.
It is absolutely true.
Oh, it's amazing.
Here's the thing: if you tell other people that aren't awake, they'll think you're crazy.
That's right. That's right.
That's their problem.
No, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah. So good, right? I'm glad we met.
I'm so happy.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. It's right.
All right, I'm gonna, this is what I did. I was visiting my mother, and I asked who the oldest, most lucid person was, and they introduced me to Ruth. Ruth, right?
Yes.
And
right.
I encourage anyone else that has access to an old age home to do the same, because there's not many people like Ruth left that remember these things. We also talked about the World's Fair that she attended, and she said that the lights were the most amazing part.
Most amazing thing.
Yeah.
I never got over that. I never, all my life, it's right there. The lights were so bright. And living in the darkness for so many years as a child, all of a sudden the world opened up.
Amazing. All right, Ruth, thank you.
Thank you. I'm amazed. I'm so happy to know it's true.
It's true, and God created this world.
Yes,
and He's right here in the clouds above, close, not in an infinite universe. So good, right?
And I can't get over it. Made me cry.
Made me cry too.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Ruth, give me a hug. Here we go.
I need it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
This is all wrong. The world is waking up. And change is coming whether you like it or not. Thank you.
Alright, I just heard the call out for a good orbit. Dragon and the second stage are confirmed to be in low Earth orbit. There is one last task that has to be completed, and that is the Dragon spacecraft separating from the second stage. This separation will happen in a few seconds. The camera view we are looking at right now is looking towards the Dragon spacecraft from the second stage, and we should see a separation momentarily. And there we go, separation confirmed. That was the final separation for this mission, and Dragon spacecraft is on its way to the International Space Station. Now I want everyone to look at the left side of the screen. What you can see is that Earth is actually not spherical, it is concave according to this image. So we're going to leave this image up for a minute so you can think about that. And here's another view of the non-spherical surface of Earth from the second stage camera.
Just as the United States was the first nation to reach the moon in the 20th century, so too will we be the first nation to return astronauts to the moon in the 21st century.
Well, how do you plan to get there? In this trash can?
We're dreaming big.
Well, now I've seen everything.
And it'll get more and more obvious as you go along.
Come and play, everything's A-OK.
Only 64% are convinced that the world is a ball.
But 64% of what?
Of millennials are not, or only 64% are convinced that the world is a ball. The world is a circle. That the world is a, what is it, a spheroid? Is that what it's called? Oblique.
Well, we're slightly wider below the equator than at the equator, so we're a pear-shaped theoretical oblate spheroid. Right? You ever see the schoolroom globes? That is a gross exaggeration of reality.
Yes.
Do you realize if you took Earth with all of its mountains, valleys, and hills and shrunk it down to the size of a cue ball, it would be smoother than any cue ball ever machined. Our perception of what is round and what is not.
I had asked you to debate one of them flat Earth guys.
No, I don't. I know. I can't. No. No. No, I don't. I can't. No.
I know. We talked about it, and we were gonna have them on Skype.
No, I don't. I can't.
They start actually believing that this stuff makes sense.
Why should someone know automatically that Earth isn't flat? You realize it's just as intellectually lazy to believe everything you see as it is to deny everything theoretical you see. Yet I tell them in the next breath that the entire universe was once as small as a marble. Preposterous. And the other theoretical, except one has evidence to back it. That's what should be taught in school. And it's not. They give you a book and say, learn this, theoretical.
Yeah.
And you'll get tested on it. And then when you're done, learn this, theoretical.
When you have an idea and it's in your head, it's very difficult for people to shake that idea, and they start arguing that idea becomes a part of their identity.
And they dig their heels in deeper when an opposing view is presented to them.
Because they connect themselves to these ideas.
Right. I try not to base my character profile on something that is not yet verified as objective truth.
The days I ate, but when the bill came up, boy, was I shocked. I say, I don't pay for nothing. I'm the king of the slop.
In 1973, when I got saved, nobody was talking about a flat earth. I have read the documents, the commentaries, the productions of many wise men down through the years, and not a one of them was talking about a flat earth. Let me tell you something this morning, and you please hear what I've got to say. This is important. When all this stuff started bouncing back in my face a few months ago, I said to myself, well, these are brothers and these are sisters. They know the Lord, they love the Lord. We can abide together. We may not all see things exactly the same, but if we have the same Holy Spirit, we can dwell together as brethren. That was my attitude toward it, and I tried to project that attitude.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
And all of a sudden now, all these Christians, the Bible says it's fine. You know?
And I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them. They shall be turned back. They shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images, that say to the molten images, Ye are our gods.
Then all of a sudden, 8-9 years ago, this flat earth movement comes out, or maybe even more recently than that.
Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled, who among them can declare this, and show us former things. Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, It is truth.
The idea of the flat earth crowd that's driving a wedge between God's people is sowing discord among the brethren.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household.
So it's so ridiculous. And you know, these flat earthers, it's their whole religion. They're obsessed with it. We've had flat earthers in our church that just is all they talk about. All they talk about. I mean, I had this guy.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come.
I finally just got in his face and yelled at him, because I'm just like, I don't care about the flat earth. I'm sick of you talking to me. What do you not understand when I said I have no interest? I'm not interested.
It's because they have no respect for the man of God. That's not the world I was saved into. The world I was saved into in 1973, we respected the man of God. We may not have agreed with everything you had to say. Oh, no. That's okay to think. You don't have to agree with everything, but we respected God's man.
They say, well, the Bible says the sun rises and sets. Therefore, flat earth. Okay, well... And they're like, well, that means the sun's moving. Obviously, it's just talking from the perspective of where we're standing, that the sun's moving.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
But how many of you have ever seen a photograph of this blue planet? It's a beautiful thing. Chuck Colson got saved. He wrote this about astronauts who found God. He said, Frank Borman was commander of the first space crew to travel beyond the Earth's orbit. Looking down on the Earth from 250,000 miles, Borman radioed back a message, quoting Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And he later explained, he said, I had an enormous feeling that there had to be power greater than any of us, that there was a God, that there was indeed a beginning. How many of you have ever seen a photograph? And I know if you're a flat earther, you deny the photograph even exists. You know it's all fabricated. It's all a hoax.
But if we believe the basic traditional scientific view of the way the universe is laid out, leave me alone!
A beautiful thing. Listen to this. The late James Irwin, who walked on the moon in 1971, later became an evangelist minister. He often described the lunar mission as a revelation. In his words, he said, I felt the power of God as I had never felt it before. Charles Duke followed Irwin to the moon, later became active in ministry work. As he explained, he said, I make speeches about walking on the moon and walking with the Son of God. Guy Gardner is a veteran astronaut who speaks in churches on the reality of God. And on and on and on it goes. And then we have the Jeffrey Williams. This astronaut spent 534 days in space. He's a born-again Christian. Jeffrey Williams loves the Lord. He took thousands of photographs and videos from the space station as it moved in the heavens above the earth. It such a magnificent sight, it took his breath away. Right now, you can log on to the internet if you want to. And you can go to the International Space Station, the ISS, and you can get a live feed from that space station. Right now, you can watch it as it moves across the face of the earth. Did you know, folks, that there are over 4,000 satellites right now in the heavens? 4,000 satellites are going around this globe right now, 4,000 of them. You're telling me that thousands and thousands and thousands of people, including all these Christian astronauts, are nothing but liars and fakers. You're telling me that it's all a sham, that it's all a fakery, and that's all you can say. Because I really would, I don't know how much courage you've got. I would like for you to look Jeffrey Williams in the face, the astronaut that spent 535 days in orbit of this earth. I would like for you to look him in the face, and he's a Christian, he loves the Lord, and look him in the face and tell him he's a liar and a deceiver. You got the courage to do it? Send him an email and say, I think you're a fake. I think you're a fakery. I think that NASA is it's all created garbage. It's all made to deceive people. There is no such thing as a round earth. Would you do that? If you have the convictions that what you believe is true, why don't you do it? Go further into it. Search it out. And now Elon Musk is the Trump card. I hate to use the word Trump. I mean, I'm not against Trump. I appreciate a lot of stuff he's done, believe me. But, you know, it can become childish after a while. But Elon Musk is sending up huge rockets into the space, right? He's sending these rockets up. Do you know what he plans to do next? He's going to put people on them and send them up to the moon. The people that have the money, they're going to go up to the moon. What are they going to do? They're going to look out the windows and photograph the earth. Think of all these people that are going to be going up. And this is a few years. It's not long in the future. And they're going to be photographing this round, blue, beautiful planet out here in space. They're going to photograph it, and they're going to come back and talk about how beautiful that this earth is. What will you do then? When you are faced with overwhelming evidence from so many different areas, what will you do then? Will you stick with your flat earth doctrine? But flat earth doctrine is causing discord among the brethren.
You understand? The sun's moving, everything's moving. The sun's moving, the earth's moving.
That tells me that there's something going on that's greater than a flat earth thing.
Folks, get a brain. What's the sermon about? Get a brain. And you know what? If you're one of these flat earthers, please, for the love of all that's holy, get off those YouTube videos. Get off those websites and go to some real sources of learning. Go to the library and get a library card. It's free. I will buy you whatever book you want.
This crowd today has no respect for the man of God.
Oh, if we could just get people to believe in God, then they'll be saved. Really?
It has to do with the demonic attack upon the church from the inside.
What we see here is that the earth could be filled with water to where the highest mountain is covered, right?
We don't need somebody who's carried about and tossed about with every wind of internet crap.
Okay, give me a break.
And so I don't want anything to do with it. And this flat earth thing, people will say, yeah, but, you know, if we could just get people to believe in the flat earth, then they'll realize there's a God and they'll believe in God.
Satan wants to destroy the church from within.
If gravity's so strong, then how did Michael Jordan jump so high? To give you the message of the Big Bang. I am the God. I mean, you're like, hey, he's gonna say, hey, you've heard of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? I'm the God of Captain Kirk. I'm the God of Spock. I'm the God of Captain Sulu. You know, I'm here to tell you the truth of the cosmosity.
Do you know what the secular world thinks about us? When they are in possession of that enormous amount of material that proves that this earth is a globe, do you know what they think about us? Do you know what we look like to them? I'm not one bit interested in whether I'm accepted by the world or not. But I'm going to tell you something, folks. I'm not going to go out of my way to make myself look like a fool. I'd do that without going out of my way. What do you think they think of you when you start that?
Learn! There are hundreds of thousands, yea, millions of people watching these videos. If you look at these flat earth videos, they have hundreds of thousands of views, and just the thumbs up are just thousands and thousands of thumbs up. Look, I put up a video preaching against flat earth where I just mentioned it a few minutes in a sermon. 1,000 thumbs down. 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 1,000 thumbs down.
Here we are again. The man on a quest to find the truth and show what's going on with the truth movement. Let's talk about the campaign on the truth movement. Seems more important right now. Instead of accepting that we found out the truth, they would rather build a campaign to try to make us all look crazy. That the reality that we experience, they're saying, is not the reality we experience. They're saying, due to perspective and science and physics, we don't know what we're looking at. Do you feel like you can't see what you're seeing? And let's talk about how all the FE groups have been conquered and taken over by ball believers. This is to you, ball believers. If you know Earth is not flat, what are you doing in the groups? Why does the globe need defending if it's 100% confirmed? This should have been known 500 years ago. But here we are in 2018 defending the globe. You should feel pretty stupid defending something that you don't care about or that you know is ridiculous. It's like arguing with an idiot. It makes no sense. And the one question all of you seem to come with, I don't know if it's copy or paste, if you're all friends, your defense for everything is, show us a picture of the edge. Even though you believe that the universe is ever expanding and there is no edge of the universe, but when it comes to flat Earth, your concept is that it has an edge. Well, let me tell you this. We don't live on a planet, we're not a spinning ball in space, and flat Earth does not have an edge. We do not know the depths of our reality because it's been kept hidden from us. This is not disputed. So for all you people that believe, yeah, the government lies, but they wouldn't lie about the shape of the earth, why wouldn't they? Do you understand that Universal Movies has been showing a globe before they had planes that could go up that high and see if what they said we lived on is what we lived on? I'll say it again. Universal Movies has been showing that spinning globe as the logo before their movies since before they had planes to go up that high and see if what we lived on is what we lived on. And everybody just accepted it. So the lie just continued. And this is what you're defending right now. But let's talk about planes. Because you can't have it both ways, Globers. You can't say that, yeah, a plane can take off the ground, defying gravity, but when it gets to its cruising altitude, it is supposedly held by gravity so that it does not fly off out into space. That is what we call doublethink. And any ounce of intelligence would tell you that when a plane is flying straight around a spherical surface, it would have to dip its nose to account for that curvature, to complete the circle. Or else, The artificial horizon would tell them that the surface was moving ever away and down from them. So they would have to account if we lived on the elusive ball. But we don't live on the elusive ball. We live on a flat world, okay? Stop fighting against intelligence. FE is trying to show you every day and let you know that you've been lied to for over 500 years. And they're going to continue to lie to you for the next 500 years if you don't accept this right now. Just accept it. And I love all the great work that all the FEers are doing. Too many people to name. I can't name you all. But keep it up. Because even though there's a campaign on putting us out, they're repressing posts, repressing comments. This is supposed to be freedom of speech. It doesn't seem pretty free. I feel like they're trying to put us in a box. But it's too late. The truth is out. People are waking up. There's nothing you can do about it right now. The holders of the lie and the gatekeepers, they don't even have to defend their pseudoscience bullshit. They have all you globe believers to defend it for them, without no personal experience yourself, other than textbooks. Now, every single textbook I ever saw, science book, okay, I never saw a real picture of space. Did you? No, you didn't. So you're defending memes. But you have a problem with flat earthers putting proof in memes or using memes as proof. You've been looking at memes all your life and you're defending them. So when you see memes from us, now you get triggered. Stop getting triggered. Stay out the flat earth groups. Because if you know it's not flat, then you shouldn't have to defend anything. If it's ridiculous, why are you wasting all your time and energy and attention on it? This is what you need to ask yourself. Don't research flat earth. Research the globe and the ridiculous theories of the globe. Here's something to look into. You think you're spinning 1,000 miles an hour? And you watch the sun move through the sky slowly through the day? If you believe that we're going around the sun and the sun is not revolving above our heads like flat earthers know the sun is and it's small and close, then you should understand that the sun would look like a ring of fire going all around, but it's not. It stays there and moves through the sky slowly all day. But you will still defend the spin. It's retarded to say, oh, we've just got used to the spin since birth because we've been constantly spinning. Did you forget there's something in our inner ear that tells us when we're in motion and what direction we are? If we're horizontal, that thing in our inner ear tells us. If we're moving, that thing in our inner ear tells us. If we're upside down, that thing in our ear tells us. So stop fighting against your intelligence and common sense if you have some. Just because they told you this is what it is, don't accept it. Look into it. Investigate it. Because truth fears no investigation. This video is for the groups. All my FE people, keep up the beautiful work. Let's keep this stuff going because they're getting desperate. There's a campaign to stomp us out and repress us, but it's not going to do anything to us. Insults and calling us retards is not going to do anything to sway us from this. It's too late. We went to the same school systems you did. Stop trying to teach us globe theory a second time. We know it already. That's how we know there's something wrong with it. It's too late. People are waking up. People are coming into the truth. Elon Musk, he put the nail in the coffin, making you believe there's a car in space and telling you that in less than 23 hours, it had already passed Mars orbit and it was on its way to the asteroid belt. Really? Did they forget they told us that it took the satellite Juno over 3 months to get to Mars? But within 23 hours, a car had passed Mars. If you can't wake up from that, there might not be too much hope for you. You can learn more from flat earthers than you ever learned in your entire school history. We know more about the globe than you. You want to know something about the globe? Ask a flat earther. And on that note, have a good day. And globe believers, stay out the groups. You just won't accept you're getting ate up. You're getting ate up.